Hey there, you're watching Wildflower Video Tips. I'm Lindsay Moe. Today I'm going to show you how to edit two-camera footage in Adobe Premiere Pro. Shooting your recipe videos with two cameras can make your footage so much more dynamic. It's great for both hosted style cooking shows and the overhead hands and pans style. This also creates a lot of footage to work with when it comes to editing. Today I'm going to show you my favorite way to get this done quickly, easily, and beautifully. Let's dive in. I'm working here on a recipe video for enchiladas, and I've already gone through and laid down all of my camera A footage. If I was only shooting with one camera, this is the video that I would then edit down, probably to be about a minute long. But I've just gone through and laid down all the clips for all the steps of the recipe. And over here in the project panel, you can see I've color-coded my bins for camera A and camera B footage, and I've also color-coded the footage to match the bin. If you're not familiar with how to use bins or how to color code them, definitely go back and watch my video about how to use bins. I'm not going to go into that right now. We are just going to jump into our camera B footage, and I'm going to show you how I do this. So there might be some camera B footage that I would use in the beginning of this recipe, but I'm going to jump to where we're adding things to the bowl because I feel like that's the most useful area where I would use it. And you can see the first thing here is beans. So I have this clip from my second camera, and I'm just going to grab it and scrub through to see. I will start with the beans, and I'm using the arrow keys to move forward and backwards one frame. I like to jump to the second camera angle when things are about to get dumped in. So you can see that's about ready to fall, and we want to try match it up in the camera A footage. You can see over here the beans are already in the bowl, so that's too far. I'm going to use the left and right arrow to move just one frame at a time to try get it to just the right spot. You can see here is the first point where it's getting a little movement, so I think that's going to be good. We'll mark an in there and an out using I and O. If you want to go back and watch my video on using quick keys, that helps things speed up quite a bit here in the editing process. And I'm going to grab this little film strip and just drag it over into the timeline. You can see it matches its color for camera B footage, and I have it on V2 right now. So I'm going to watch and see if that looks about right. It does, but it overlaps this other clip. So I'm going to press A to enable the track select forward tool. I'm just going to grab it and move it over to the end of that clip. And I don't know if I like that extra little bean that falls at the end there, so I might just cut that out. And it's up to you if you want to leave this footage on V2 or not. I kind of like to keep it down in V1 just when I'm doing recipe videos. They're pretty simple, and I don't know, I just like the clean look of having it all together. But the color coding definitely helps differentiate, and I'll show you why that's important later. I'm going to close up this little space, and we'll move on to the corn. Again, I'm going to drag it onto V2 just to make sure that it works. And I think that's good, but as you can see at the end here, there was a little extra, and I'm just going to trim that off because I don't feel like we need it. Pull this down and close up that gap. And then I'm going to go back and watch it and make sure everything looks good. Yep. For something later on, like when I'm stirring, let's see if we can find that stir shot. You want to look for indicators of where things are matching up. So it's useful here that it's at the beginning of a stir. And you can see I move it back and forth a few times. If I wanted to add an extra clip in there, let's see. I could count how many times I go back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's double check over here where the spatula ended up. It was over on the left side of the bowl, so probably right about there. And we'll see if that matches. That looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and move these clips over. I used the track select forward tool to move all the clips to the right, and then I had to use the regular selection tool to grab that one from underneath. And then I'm just going to pull this down. The reason it's helpful to have these color-coded is you can see I'm going to want to rotate this footage after I get all of my editing done. So I'm going to go into the effects panel, make sure it's highlighted, and rotate it 180 degrees. I do not want to rotate this footage because it's already set up properly, but I can take this one, Command C to copy it, and then come over here to all the rest, highlight them, Option Command V to copy this motion effect, and you can see now all of these are rotated and those are not. So everything is the way it should be. That's it. I really hope you'll start shooting your recipe videos using 2 cameras if you haven't already, and I hope these tips will help improve your video editing workflow. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe. I am here every Tuesday with a new tip, and if you hit subscribe and click the little bell to turn on your notifications, you will never miss another video. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.